Why Cam Newton still has some growing up to do.
And I'll tell you why the door just opened for Colin Kaepernick to return to the NFL. Ooh, I said it. But we start today with a Whitlock. What you got today, big dog?
Oh, I got a heaping help in the Thursday night football on Big Fox. And I got Kirk Cousins, the Vikings quarterback, in a very big spot. Kirk Cousins is the $84 million man. That's how much guaranteed money the Minnesota Vikings doled out for a 30-year-old quarterback who has started one playoff game, thrown one playoff touchdown, and has never won in the postseason. But what's worse is Kirk Cousins' regular season success rate against teams above 500. Look at this motley crew of passers with a minimum of 20 career starts and their record against good teams. The only guys with winning percentages lower than Captain Kirk's 4-19 records are Blake Bortles, Blaine Gabbert, Matt Stafford, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. You like that, Marcellus?
Nah, son. No.
I don't like it either. That's why I call Mr. Cousins Captain Shirk. He's a franchise quarterback who shirks the responsibility of carrying the franchise in big games. When it's winning time, Cousins often fails to deliver the finishing blow. This Captain Kirk ain't Captain Comeback. Kirk Cousins is incapable of boldly going where no man has gone before. Tonight, it's going to be interesting to see if the Super Bowl-eyeing Vikings can recover from last week's nightmare against the Buffalo Bills. The undefeated and high-scoring Rams will be the opponent. The Rams will be playing without their Pro Bowl cornerbacks, Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters. Both are out with injuries. There's no excuse for Cousins to be off his game tonight. If this turns into a shootout, Cousins should be able to go drive for drive and touchdown for touchdown with Jared Goff and Todd Gurley. But I'm expecting Cousins to figure out a way to lose this game. Call it bad luck, call it bad karma, whatever. Kirk Cousins doesn't win big games. He's really the anti-Captain Kirk. James T. Kirk specialized in leadership that elevated everyone around him. Bones, Spock, Scotty, Lieutenant Uhura, Chekhov. Captain Kirk inspired them to incredible feats against the great empires of the galaxy. The Klingons, the Romulans, the Dominion. It's a who's who of evil empires that James T. Kirk took down. Kirk Cousins' signature conquest is a victory over a 10-loss Buccaneers team in 2015. Seriously. You like that? Was a one-point victory over a 21-year-old Jameis Winston. James T. Kirk took out Khan. Captain Kirk took out the Gomer Pyle of football. Marcellus, all the pressure tonight is on Kirk Cousins. He needs to start justifying Minnesota's $84 million investment. So far, the Redskins don't miss him, and he's done nothing for the Vikings. It's all on Kirk Cousins, man.
Bruh.
I don't have high expectations.
Bruh, salute. I've been saying this since he was a free agent prospect. I was saying this when every team seemed to be clamoring over Kirk Cousins, the free agent. I said, do you know who this guy is? This is the guy who took full advantage of timing is everything. He had the leverage at the right time in the right situations. Let's be real about Kirk Cousins. He can't live up to this contract because he never deserved this contract, $4 million guaranteed. So now we're looking at Kirk Cousins as who he was as a free agent, and GMs all got suckered. The rarity of seeing a fringe franchise quarterback in the open market made them think that he was a rare prospect. No, because quarterbacks don't hit the open market, and when one does, doesn't mean that that guy is almighty. It means that maybe a team or two knows that guy is not worthy of making our franchise quarterback, Washington. So therefore, he is out there in the free agent market. I told you before how coaches used to always say, send a limousine for the guys that we want to see show up on Sundays. In this case, on a Thursday night, send a limo. Coach also used to say, not everybody's that sorry, and Kirk Cousins is not that sorry. We're not sending a limo for him, but he is the same OG. And Coach used to say the same OG means he's occasionally good and occasionally great. That's who this Kirk Cousins is, a guy who's just going to be slightly above average.
I'm going to give you another analogy. I want the viewers to stick with me because at first you're going to be offended, but I'm going to clean it up.
Oh.
It's like you see some beautiful woman in her 30s, early 30s, late 30s, whatever. You go, damn, I wonder how come she's not married.
Mm-hmm.
It's like looking across and seeing a 50-year-old dude that's always been gainfully employed, very successful, and you go, I wonder why Jason Whitlock's never been married.
Yeah, I'm looking at him.
There's a problem.
Exactly.
Trust me, I'm not in denial. There's a problem.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole, and I'm still going to deal with. And so there is a problem. When Kirk Cousins is on the market, it screams.
Mm-hmm.
There's a problem. The Washington Redskins dated him for 5 years.
Right.
And never wanted to put a ring on it.
Mm-mm.
That, to me, screams there's a problem, and Minnesota is dealing with that problem. This, so far, and I don't care what his numbers, because he's throwing for nice yards or whatever. He's not racking up yards per attempt, but he's throwing for nice yards, and his stats at the end of the year are going to look pretty good.
Yeah.
But he's not really an upgrade over Case Keenum, and that was my issue. They could have got Case Keenum for $17, $18 million a year. Instead, they gave this guy $84 million over 3 years.
Should have stuck with Case Keenum. Should have stuck with Sam Bradford and Somerset. Ooh, that's tough to say right now.
That's tough to say. That's too far.
Teddy Bridgewater. So all I'm saying is that congregation of quarterbacks they had would have been better. Yeah, on the surface in terms of security, and Mike Zimmer went out there and said, hey, my job security is tied to this quarterback. Less is more. Like, they would have had lesser talents, but it would have been better and more for this franchise. Kirk Cousins, let's talk about the numbers. Let's talk about the 3 consecutive years of 25-plus touchdowns and 4,000 yards and the empty calories in those numbers. And let's just be real about it. Case in point, Buffalo game last week. Against the Buffalo Bills, first half, 44 yards. Second half, finishes up with 296. You sit there and say, oh, if you're not observing every single throw, okay, it's not all on Kirk Cousins. And he's done that consistently throughout his career, been able to pad his stats and give you those empty calories.
I have been waiting for Kirk Cousins to deliver and trying to, because I've gone back and forth, because I'll watch some games like, man, he got a hell of an arm.
Yeah.
He got some presence in the pocket. But too often it would get to winning time, and the touchdown, the drive that you need to finish the game isn't there. Now, I've seen it sometimes when his teammates have let him down. There was a Monday night game, I think, where his teammate dropped a game-winning touchdown in the end zone. He put a dime on him. And I get it. Not all the time is it Kirk Cousins' fault. But he's one of those guys that just has a cloud over him to some degree. He can only be so successful. He's just not a championship-type quarterback. And there are just guys like that can put up numbers, but when it's the most important time, when it comes time to elevating your teammates and making the defensive guys say, if we just get the ball back to Kirk Cousins or whoever this quarterback is, they're going to take it. He doesn't do that.
No, high risk, high reward, and this is not a daring quarterback. He's great with the checkdowns. He's great with the short intermediate throws. He's even great in compact space in the red zone this year with the few throws he's had. What he's not great at is you got the ball at the 20-yard line. Let's go 80 yards, march down the field. Oh, we have opportunities down the field. Let's make those plays. He got taken care of in Washington because everyone wrote no running game and not enough weapons. You don't have that same case in point when you're talking about the Minnesota roster. They're all not playing up to optimal level. We get that. But still, he has the weapons to take advantage of. He finds a way not to.
Tonight, the Rams without their cornerbacks. Great opportunity for them to steal a victory.
Amazing.
But the stats are just, the trends are against them. Teams that travel 2 time zones on Thursday night are 0-6. And so I'm expecting the Los Angeles Rams, even without their cornerbacks, to take care of business tonight and put it on the Vikings. And Kirk Cousins does not collect a victory against a team 500 or above again. I expect them to lose.
Yeah, I expect them to lose as well. The Rams' offense too potent. So guess what? Kirk Cousins may find himself in a hole. And we're talking about a quarterback who doesn't go down the field, who doesn't play outside the system in terms of trying to make those big plays. He's going to find himself in a hole. And if he still plays structured football, they're just going to lose methodically. The Rams win easy.
All right, stick around. Later in the show, we'll give you our approval ratings for Kirk Cousins. Here's where they were before the season started. We'll see where he ends up after 3 games in Minnesota. Coming up, Kaepernicks rejoice. Colin Kaepernick ally Eric Reed is back in the NFL. We'll tell you what it all means.
Eric, where's my picture?
Speak for Yourself is sponsored by DraftKings. Play free tonight for your shot at $150,000 in prizes.